Are you feeling the rose summoning you? Namaste, and so good to be here with all of you. I'm sharing a video today about the rose and all her magic. The rose and the path of the rose and the rose mysteries is something I've personally been steeped into for some years now. It's really one of my passions and something that honestly summoned me, as I said at the beginning, is a rose summoning you, because collectively she is waking up in many, many hearts. So today I'll just talk a little bit about the rose and see what wants to come through, because there's really so many facets of the rose that it could speak for a year about all of them. So today let's see what wants to be shared. I'm sharing here presently from Oroville, India, in this beautiful, spiritual, sustainable community. Actually, yesterday was the 50 years since the passing of the lady who initiated the creation of the space and the temple, the Matri Mandir, which is the Golden Lotus Temple here in Oroville, which is honestly one of the most insane modern day technologies for consciousness that I have witnessed. So I invite you to check that out. It's very cool. And this woman was named the Mother. She is referred to as the Mother here, and I think that's beautiful. And the rose, as you may know, is really connected to the divine feminine. She really is an expression of the divine feminine, along with many other things. But to me, I say this always, the rose is alike to a yantra. Yantra is a Sanskrit word for a symbol that can support us in awakening consciousness within us, awakening something within us into higher dimensional planes, into higher realization. And for me, when you look at the rose, just the witness of the rose, be it an image of the rose or really a physical rose, which is even more powerful, then you can also feel the vibration and frequency of the rose in your physical body as you hold it. Physically, has the power to unlock remembrance within us. It's so vast, and I'm sure for those of you who are watching this resonates, because there is a reason why you are being called forward to the rose, why the rose is summoning you. That's the best way to say it. It's like she's just literally calling you and saying, hey, my love, come work with me. She has stories, she has mysteries, she has codes, she has ways that are ripe and ready to be shared right now, in the moment in history, in the moment of life as humans here on Earth Mother, that want to be shared and are necessary for the evolution of our consciousness. And in the recent days, months, I've been receiving a lot of requests from beautiful dear sisters, from students, from people all around the world, asking me about the rose, saying, hey, the rose has been calling me. What does that mean? Well, the rose is here, and she's calling us because she wants us to remember. She wants us to remember the heart within us. She wants us to remember that this force within us is the seat of our soul and is the compass that is going to guide and lead the new earth, is going to guide and lead the new paradigm that is landing, literally has been landing and is landing right now on our earth, a new way to move as a human being through life. Because as we can see, the old ways are not working. Living from a purely mental place, a completely unbalanced place of either too much masculinity or too much femininity has not served us and has not served the earth. So the rose is waking up within hearts, in women and men, because she wants to remind us of our heart. She wants to remind us of how to live a life from our heart. How do we navigate life truly, consciously, from a directive that the heart guides us in? And that's a whole process. And if you're on your spiritual path already, and even if you're not, this is truly, for me at least, the greatest service that I feel I've incarnated to remember in this lifetime. I remember when I began my spiritual path, one of my first teachers ever said to me, Bianca, life, It's much more simple than that. Life is but a 12-inch journey. It's from the head to the heart. And that's the journey I've committed myself to for over a decade now. And I believe that's also why the rose has come through in such strong medicine. And I truly feel like a devotee, a carrier of rose medicine, because for me, at least in my journey, the rose has brought me back into wholeness, has brought me back into balance, has brought me back into remembrance of my connection to the divine, of my embodiment of the divine. So the rose is summoning you because she's asking you to remember your heart. She's asking you to begin to deepen into your subtle feeling, paying attention to feeling, stepping away from thought and arriving at feeling and exploring that, stepping away from rational thinking and tuning into intuition. And the best way to cultivate our relationship with the heart, the best way to learn the language of the heart is really to slow down and carve out time in stillness. Place your hand on your heart and just listen. Take space away from the busyness of your life and journal. Dear heart, what do you have to share with me today? What would you like to share with me today? Put roses on your altar and let them remind you that you're on a journey to connect more deeply with your heart. And it doesn't stop there, because the rose is here to remind us of the heart, but she's here also with courage and a fierce sensation of like an urgency to really show up in our authentic self, to really show up in our truth and overcome the being self-conscious, the being playing small, the being afraid of what people would think, the need to fit in, and simply blossom into your authentic expression. And of course, it's easier said than done, but there are tools right now to support you in that process. Meditation, yoga, breath work, plant medicines, movement practices, somatic practices, goes on and on and on. So begin your practice to connect to the heart. Begin your practice to shed the layers of the onion so you can arrive at your true essence as the ocean of infinite consciousness that you are. And once you've arrived there, and even perhaps before you think you've arrived there, today, begin also living this, embodying it, being it. Let the feeling, let the experience of your heart be expressed through you already. Don't wait for a perfect moment. Begin to listen to your intuition and express that intuition. It's about receiving the gifts of the gods through ideas, and then in real time translating that into our expression through our gifts, through our hands, through our movements, through our dance, through our work, through everything that we as humans have the capacity to create. It's so cool. You are a creator. You can do anything you want. You can create anything you want. You can work with matter. It's an amazing gift. Not all species, not all beings from different dimensions have that possibility. So what are you going to create? What song are you going to sing? The rose is inviting us to connect to our hearts more deeply and then express our authentic voice to the world, because it's through the transmission of the divine through you that we awaken other human beings to remember their own divine essence and eventually connect to their authentic truth and connect to their song and then sing their song, and together we can all start to harmonize our expressions. I like it to gold. We can all then share and contribute our gold, which is our gift to the world, and build the new golden cities. So this is for me one of the highest reasons why the rose is summoning us right now. She really is here to give us the courage and confidence to shine and share, to remember our truth, to remember our divinity, to empower us, to reclaim our sovereignty, to reclaim our power, to unlock our creativity, and to shine and share in our leadership, in our divine feminine leadership. It's not leadership that we know from the past. It's not forceful. It's graceful. It's in flow. It's supported by the earth, by the elements. So this is one of the ways the rose is showing up, and one of the reasons it's so important right now. If she's calling you to listen, she's an ally on the path of the heart, the path of the rose. It's the same thing. So if you want to connect and deepen in relationship with the rose right now, I invite you to start holding roses on your altar. I invite you to every day just peer in her for 2-3 minutes in silence and just ask and curiously see what you see. I invite you to write in your journal daily, "Dear heart, is there anything you'd like to share with me today?" So these are just a few little tips, it's what coming through. And I recently talked to a dear sister who was sharing, she knows all these things already. Maybe you already do. And maybe you're deeply connected to the path of your heart and you're living your life in service. Amazing. Thank you. We all have to show up right now. And maybe the rose is coming to you to teach you one of her qualities, for you to deepen into one of her qualities. And her qualities are really so wholesome. There's the beautiful flower of the rose, these amazing lush petals. There's different colors. When I talk about the rose and don't specify, I'm usually talking about the red rose. She's much like the queen. And all the different color of roses are, of course, the family, and they have very different teachings and lessons, all heart-centered related. So perhaps the rose is coming into your life to awaken a certain quality that she embodies. Maybe it's to become more soft. She really is the embodiment of the divine feminine. And it's time to nourish, connect to, embody the qualities of the divine feminine, which are softness, which is letting our nervous system fully relax and knowing that quantum leaps are taking place in that space of self-love, in that space of deep rest. We are receiving as we are also offering in that moment, because there's nothing more grand that we can offer life and the divine than our presence. When we give ourselves abundantly and generously to the world and to each other and to the divine, the world, humanity, and the divine gives back to you generously and abundantly. It's the key and code of abundance. So I don't know how I got there, but basically divine feminine, yes, remembering the path of the divine feminine. And if you're like, well, where do I begin? I have actually a really cool free 3-day mini course that takes you through some really tangible pieces of how you can soften into your divine feminine qualities. And I'll put a link here below. And by the way, if you're watching this, please like and subscribe to my channel. That would be awesome. So maybe she's asking and summoning you to be softer. Maybe you've been holding a very warrior energy for many years, showing up in your masculine, and she can really support us in just letting go all the needs to have to show up as this or that. Just rest, come into the back body, and rest. I'll invite you, if you're watching this video, just to follow that. Just come into your back body, rest on the lean of your chair. If you're sitting up somewhere, just like maybe allow earth to support you and And then breathe into your body. Let it melt into the ground. Let it melt into the back of your chair. And realize that we're not here to do it all alone. We're here to be supported. We live in a beautiful universe that generously serves us as we serve it back through our devotion and our prayer and our stewardship and guardianship of Mother Earth. So maybe the rose is coming into your life to teach you how to be soft. Maybe she's coming into your life to teach you boundaries. Because I don't know if you've noticed, but roses have thorns. Those thorns are to teach you better who you are, what you are, your boundaries, how to say no gracefully, but how to own it, how to take care of yourself first and foremost, because from a place of wholeness, we can serve fully and wholly. So there's infinite more qualities of the rose. Maybe she's showing up to you so that you can deepen in your path to the heart. Maybe she's showing up to you to invite you to soften into your qualities of your divine femininity. Maybe she's showing up to you to learn your boundaries and embody them and open your voice so you can communicate. Maybe she's showing up to empower you so that everything that you are can find a way to express itself in this world to serve the evolution of human consciousness today, the return to the heart. Maybe she's showing up just to be a friend. There's really infinite ways and reasons and whys and hows that the rose is arriving, and it's not a coincidence. So if you're feeling attracted to the rose, don't take it lightly. Honor this. It's the greatest gift we can receive. So one more little thing that's coming to me now is buy some organic dried rose petals or little rose buds and drink a rose tea in the morning. Make it part of your ritual after your meditation, while you're journaling that question to your heart. Have a rose tea. Okay, I will leave that for now. I hope you've been taking notes and just take a few things away from this. I'll be sharing more about the rose because it seems like it's summoning strong. Additionally, I've been doing a weekly podcast called River of Rose Consciousness. You can see it either on my Instagram, I am Bianca Kempe, or on my YouTube channel. Yes, if you would like, I have something called a rose letter that I send out every week or two, sharing insights about the rose and updates and spiritual, empowered inspirations. And then I also share about upcoming, with that rose letter, upcoming retreats, gatherings, pilgrimage. Every year I journey with a group of sisters in something called the Mystery School of the Rose, which I am proudly the founder of. You can check it out, mysteryschooloftherose.com. And we go deep with the rose lineage, the rose mysteries, the rose teachings, and really come out the other side of this 9-month birthing process as a true carrier of this rose medicine, pollinator. So with that, much love. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. If you want to connect, I've just shared, it's all in the description. You can reach out directly to me via hello@biancakempe.com. Much, much love.